This is the Four Corners Podcast with your host, Sierra, a.k.a. KIVA, and we're going to talk about the Raw after WrestleMania, specifically Cody's booking, because it was confusing and unexpected. So enjoy the intro, and we'll see you in a second. So I've really come to love this intro. It's really catchy. I love it. So I've thought about adding some music throughout the podcast as well. So it helps along with listening. So I hope you enjoyed that as well. Also, I used my real name for the first time during the introduction. So yes, my real name is Sierra. Kiva is, another name that I go by. So. There's a meaning to it, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Cody's booking on the Raw after WrestleMania. And we can't do that without talking about Raw after WrestleMania itself. So some things about it. It's, apparently Vince is back. He's back to making some changes. I saw a clip where he was basically saying that he wasn't going to get into the weeds of creative, although he likes doing that, but he was going to only focus on high level creative decisions, whatever that means. So, from what I imagine that means is that he's going to basically be in charge or control the booking or the creative flow of whatever is holding the WWE Championship, or anytime any kind of story becomes high profile on the show. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure about how, actually, I'm not going to say I'm not sure how other people feel about that. I'm going to say that I am sure that other people don't like it very much. Let's actually look at some tweets real fast. So I have some tweets pulled up right here. Someone said, after what happened on Raw after Mania, he needs to stay away from WWE forever. There was a lot of this kind of sentiment just based on what happened. Next one, hashtag fire Vince McMahon. Triple H can handle the creative department of WWE. Hashtag Raw after Mania was ruined by Vince changing things last minute as usual. Also, get rid of PG era, bring back TV 14. Blood was necessary for the Brock beatdown on Cody to make it more believable. So they were okay with the Brock beatdown maybe, but didn't want Vince's hand in it. And it seems like that Brock beatdown might have been a Vince decision. It's funny to note that Triple H will be speaking during the intro of the next SmackDown. I'm not sure if it's during the intro. He's just going to be there to speak about the WWE Universe. So the show started off with Triple H coming out and basically saying that no matter, what's happening with the Endeavor sale, he didn't say that. Or he said that in so many words. But, no matter what happens with Vince being back, that WWE, the one that we know and love, is going to be the same. And a lot of people are, calling BS on that. Well, we had an interesting Raw after Mania with Roman Reigns coming out, asking for his typical acknowledgement, and then Cody coming out next and really requesting a rematch. It was, so bad that the crowd started chanting rematch because, people were very upset that the show had been building up this hero for us, who we were ready to see take the throne, or take the championship, and really just be refreshed with a new set of matches, at the top of the card. And it looks like we're not going to be able to see that now. It's, the Roman show all over again, but people want something new, so it seems. So basically, Paul and Roman, they said no, and Cody was like, that's, not totally fine, but, I see Solo standing in this ring too, and you guys know I want him as well as you, so how can we get this match going, basically? And they said, if you could find someone in the back who's willing to not have a WWE Championship opportunity if they lose, then sure, go ahead and, find someone. And so then Brock Lesnar comes out, and the commentary is quick to point out that when Brock lost at SummerSlam last year, that he had given up his opportunity to face to face Roman for the championship. And so it seemed like, Cody had a partner, and that he was going to have Brock as his tag mate, and they would get to the end of the night and, maybe whip some ass. But, as the show kept going, a lot of people didn't like a lot on the show. They said it was pretty bad or bland booking. I felt like there were some things that were typical for a Raw after Mania. Like, you come out, you say your deal, and then someone else comes out, and then you have a match. I didn't think it was that atypical. Maybe we should expect less from the Raw after WrestleManias. People wanted call-ups or debuts, and you weren't going to get it out of Jay White because he's made his deal with AEW, and Vince being back probably doesn't make him want to go to that brand. That's just something I suspect. But basically, we get to the end of the night, and all 4 men are in the ring, and the announcer says everyone's names, and before the bell even starts, Cody Rhodes turns around after giving his big taunt to the crowd, and Brock Lesnar just F5s him, and then the Bloodline or Roman and Solo leave the ring. So they're not in cahoots as far as we know. But then Brock went on this big major beat down of Cody, bashed him into the steel steps, took him outside the ring, and really just beat him down. It was a long beat down too. Brought the steel steps inside the ring, F5 Cody on top of the steps. I believe he came down he left, came down, beat him up some more. There were officials around trying to stop it and doing a terrible job of that. And then Brock goes back up to the ring, goes into the back, comes back out like he's going to do something, but his gloves are off, and he just gives, a big giant middle finger to Cody. And then Cody is seen trying to stand up, trying to walk on his own, turns around to the crowd who's giving him all this applause. And everyone's, there's a lot of people that are shocked, so he turns around, and then he just falls back down to his knees, holding his ribs. And that's how Raw went off the air. And after what happened at WrestleMania, it just felt so disgusting, frustrating. I don't know. For me, it was weird. It was just very weird. And there's much I want to say about it. So the night before, Triple H was in the... Let's talk about Roman and Triple H. They were both suggesting that the Bloodline storyline could continue going on, and that they had so much so much creative ability to extend the story further and keep us entertained. But so what I see is that a lot of reactions of people thinking that this was the continuation, or the beginning of the continuation that they were talking about. And I don't know if I agree with that. I believe that you can turn it into that, but this just seemed like, Vince booking that, the same kind of Vince booking that was decided week to week to week, not something that was really long term. And part of me is curious if this is a message to Cody or to and maybe people who dissent from WWE. Maybe it was a message to AEW or to the wrestling community to say, fuck AEW. Perhaps it was. I mean, I was wondering if that was the way to take it here, because it didn't seem sensical. Maybe the idea is to have Cody go through Brock. But to me, there's means of protection in wrestling, right? There's like ways that you can protect a person or a persona, or a finisher, right? Look at like the One-Winged Angel with Kenny Omega. Like part of the story with that finisher was that no one, kicked out of it. And then I believe Okada finally kicked out of it the night that Omega won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So there's ways to protect people. And I don't know, if it feels realistic or right to see Cody and Brock in a match. Because A, is Brock going to do that job? And B, Vince loves Brock. And Vince loves big size people. And there's a clear size difference between Cody and Brock Lesnar. So is the direction to have Cody go through Brock, or is something else actually happening? And, this isn't something, like we're not seeing it, or we don't know it yet. So I don't think we're going to be able to really know until we look at what happens next Monday. Now, I have seen Cody tweet out his schedule, so he is appearing at the next few Raws. There's been no news of whether he's upset or angry, but there has been word. Maybe it's by Fightful Select. I have to double check, but there has been word that there are a couple top talents that are suggesting that if Vince is back and has his hands in creative, that they're either going to request their release, or maybe a couple that are saying they're just going to let their contracts ride out. So that's not good, and it seems to be that there's a morale shift that's possibly happening. I believe that right now, it seems that like the talent and the people who work for WWE and are in a place of flux, being that Vince is back, and no one knows quite in what capacity that's going to be like in the long run. But in my feels, I was not thoroughly pleased with the Cody beatdown. I don't know. It's just like you're sending your audience on a downward path. And I wasn't so pissed to, suggest that I wouldn't watch Raw next week, but a lot of people actually are. I've seen some tweets of people canceling their Peacock subscription. I've seen just more tweets and more rants and all over social media just about how they don't want to watch the show anymore. And then some, comparisons after FTR winning the tag team championships on AEW Dynamite for the main event Wednesday, which congratulations to them. They're awesome. It's always great to see them hold the gold. And I think it's nice, especially if Vince is back, that they are staying in AEW, personally. But I can get to that another time. So let's see. Are there any other interesting tweets? There was an interesting moment that a fan posted online of who was in attendance of during the commercial break. So if you've been to a WWE show during the commercial breaks, they dim the lights out and you can still see the performer in the ring. And someone went over to Rollins, I think ahead of his match, and said something to him. So like changing his segment, and Rollins didn't look really pleased with that. So it seems like I believe it's being noted that there are changes that are happening as the show is taking place. due to Vince being back. That's not great. It doesn't seem great, you know. It seemed like WWE was on a good track of planning things ahead, and now you have changes that are happening mid-show, and you know, thankfully they're all professionals, so they can, you know, work with it. But you know, it's not great. Let's see. I wanna find some more of these tweets. So here are some tweets that we have. One second. We have Monday was full of crap and crappy moments. Brock Lesnar just showed us the middle fingers. #Raw after Mania. We have another person. Yes, this past Monday's Raw was terrible. The only reason it got a good rating was because it was the #Raw after Mania. It's always going to draw a large number, but to sit there and say the show was anything but bad is insulting. And then we have one, here's someone in French. La WWE a volé 3 heures de ma vie lundi soir. That translates to, so that's French, and that translates to the WWE robbed 3 hours of my life Monday night. That's hilarious. So there's a lot of this kind of sentiment going on. But what do you think? Did WWE steal 3 of your hours? Did you even watch the show that long? If you did you enjoy the Cody Brock stuff or not? How about the background music? How's that going? Does it, you know, do you like it? Yeah, I'm going to keep working on some more episodes with some more thoughts and takes. And I thank you all for listening. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. And thanks for listening.